Thank you for visiting our channel. Today I came out to review and also quick unbox this awesome looking Android box. It's called vSeeBOX V2 Pro. Yes, they came out with a second version of this box. Now this is jam-packed Android box. Comes with 4 GB of DDR3 RAM, 32 GB internal storage, all-winner chipset, which is 2 of them mixed together to make this powerful box. And on top of all of it, it comes with a voice controlled remote, and we will walk you through and show you exactly what works and what doesn't work on this box. Remember that this is a review that is done by us and not by somebody that wants to hijack certain comment sections and all. So please keep it clean. And I do not want to forget, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, click the subscribe button. Make sure you share this with your friends and family. Make sure you click the notification icon, select all, in order to get notified once we have a new video out. On top of that, if you have a question, drop them at the bottom of the video. We'll have to help you out ASAP. And don't forget to click the like button. It really motivates us to make these type of videos quickly with a little more detail every time. In here are all the components that are part of the box. It comes with this manual. You can see that the model number, everything is written in the front. But once you open it, you're going to get how you're going to be able to connect it. Also, a basic setup. Some steps are here. If you go to the back, you also have Chapter 1, which everything starts from here. Chapter 2 is for troubleshooting. And there are some little parts on how you're going to get better internet and reliable internet. They feature the quick specifications. Also what's included in a package, which we already covered. It comes with an HDMI cable, also a power adapter, and it is 5 volt 2 amps. It is created for Canada, United States. It also comes with this remote. Now this is IR and Bluetooth remote. I have to mention that they have placed a few things extra on this. Number 1, how it has been designed. Number 2, that it has a mic button so you can ask certain questions and it will happen. On top of that, you have a button for live TV, also for movies or VOD. You also have the right click or left click information button. You also have some shortcut buttons for something like YouTube, Netflix, Disney Plus, and Prime. I really like how they have managed to do a little cut, and right in the bottom it has their company logo. That's really cool. Now if you look on the top, it is also going to be able to connect to your TV as long as it is IR. The instruction is right in the back. You have the IR sensor in the front, but if you look in the bottom part of it, you have a little compartment that you can open and put 2 AAA batteries inside of it. Now I have to mention that the battery is not included inside of the box. It does come with an antenna, which is going to be able to connect to the box. Now I have to mention that this is also going to connect as 180 degrees, so you can put it side to side, which we're going to show in a couple of seconds. And the big moment is going to be the actual box. It is sitting inside of a little plastic so you don't get scratched. But once you go to it, I can see that it looks so slick. And I have to mention that this part is fingerprint residue, and it has a nice looking cut. It kind of reminds me of another box that is really similar to this. But I have to mention that they have really managed to customize it. Now you can see the company name right on the top, and when you go to the front, you have their model name, and also it says it's a 4K ultra high definition box, which most of these Android boxes are. But once you go to the side, it has the same thing. Now when we go from the front to the right side, you have a TF card reader, and then you have 2 USB 2.0 port. When you go to the back, you have the antenna connection. You have a LAN connection, AV port, optical audio connection, so that we can connect it to older type of stereo system. And also you have the HDMI out. You have the power connection, which is 5 volt 2 amps. And the other side, there's nothing there. Once you flip it in the bottom, you have 4 little legs, so it can sit on the table properly for you. And yes, you can move it, but it's not going to move that much. And you have these little cuts, so that way you can breathe. You can see that it is cuts, so you can see inside. And also you have 2 little parts. If you want to hook this up to a wall, you just have to make sure you measure it properly, make the screws a little bit loose, so that way you can just hook it up and it will hook up on a wall properly for you. Except that you have a little sticker in the bottom which has your MAC and serial number. I'm covering mine. And then you have another little sticker that will tell you your model number and also the input for your electricity wire. In this case, the power connection. If ever you misplace it and you don't remember what voltage you have, it is written right on here, and the rest of them where it is made. But this is how it looks, and let's get it connected. So first let's connect the antenna. So for that, make sure that it is nice and straight. Just have to put it to it and then have to roll it until it gets connected. Once it is, make it to go up and connect it. And this is how it should look. So first we're going to connect a HDMI and then the power. Now once you connect it, you're going to get a time on the front, and since this is the very first time, time would not be correct. But you can see there is a little blue light. That means it is just connected. And if you connect a line at the back, then you're going to get another light on top of it. Now this is the very first time that we're just going to connect the box itself. So it is asking us to pair the remote. Now in order to pair, it will tell you to press the volume down and the OK button for about 3 seconds. So we will do that. And this way it gets into pairing mode and it will connect. And there you go, now it is connected. So now we can go through to set up the box itself. As you can see, it will tell you language, display, skill, time zone, and network. So once this is done, we will start the box itself. Alright, so here is the main screen. Once it goes in, this is what you see first. So this look and also even the background looks very familiar to some other boxes that I have reviewed in the past. So here you go. Number one is their name is written really nicely on the top. Then you have the weather widget, and on top of that, if you connect it via Wi-Fi or LAN, it will give you a little icon and then the time. Now right now these are all perfectly correct. On top of that, you have apps, recommended, and then the settings. So let's go first from the top, the apps. Now these are all the apps that you have installed on this box, and we have installed some so we can do some benchmarking with this, except that they have their own little market app that you can click on and then you can see more. That will be covered inside of full review. And I do not want to forget again, yes, we have regular video for YouTube friendly, and then we have a full review that will be available in the bottom of this video where you can go to view it, which will be our website, and plus on the Rumble page that we have perfectly working there, and then you can check it out. And some other apps that we cannot cover in this, these ones are the ones, and then we're going to cover it there, so that way we are perfectly fine on both platforms. Except that if we want to go to recommended, it comes with 3 apps. You can watch TV, watch videos, and on top of that, if you want to get some contact information, you can go through here, and there is some little parts that you can go through to get some support if you need it. And also it comes with browser. Now the browser that they have installed on this is Firefox and not Chrome. Yes, you can install Chrome using something like Google Play Store, so you can process it. Now if you need to know your speed, Fast is a really good app to go through, so you know exactly what type of numbers you have downloading and uploading this. So this way at least you have a peace of mind of what type of quality you expect on this box. And on top of that, when you go to settings, this is where you're going to see a lot more options when you click on it. So your network is there, your Bluetooth is there, and then if you're signed in on an account through your Google Play Store will show up. On top of that, you have all apps, device preferences, you can click on it, and this is where you're going to get the exact what model you have, what version of software you have. And if you want to scroll more down in the bottom, you will get your build number and kernel information that you really looking for. On top of that, your date and time. If it's not correct, you can come here and fix it. Your language, and if you need to change your keyboard, you can do it here. I would not suggest you touch these. Same with your mouse mode, leave it all alone. And then if you want to go to display, this is something very cool I want to cover in this, is that if you want to go to your screen percentage, now you need to use the actual remote that is part of it, so you can make this smaller or bigger. You can see that what I'm trying to do right now, And then same thing if you want to make it smaller or bigger, so that way it gets a proper fit on your TV, so it's bumper to bumper covered. So this way you get a proper picture on your TV. This will really help you out. If you're going to use this for digital signage, this box itself, you can go to screen rotation, and this way you will be able to see it properly on how your TV is set up. Some TVs in some stores are set up upside down or in an angle, or it is set up as a landscape mode, or in this case horizontal. You can go ahead and select it and it will work for you perfectly. Except that this is how it is really set up. So you can go to launcher settings, and this way you can group, you can go to parental settings, and there's more inside of it. One more thing I have to mention is this software update. You can go to it and you can download if you already have it locally, or you want to go to online update, you can go through and it will tell you if you are up to date or you're required to get an update. It will give you a little pop-up so you can download, and then you can accept. It will reboot to get the new update system running. And if you want to just clean up your memory, click here and it will just totally get rid of all of the background apps just by clicking one time. And that's about it. Let's go next. Alright, so now we will go through to do some benchmarking. For that, I have to mention that this video will be cut in two little pieces. So for you guys that want to learn on how Netflix or Disney Plus work, please view our full review. Except that, here's the rest. So number one, we will go into all apps. So in this case, we just have to go to the right until we find AIDA 64. Now once we launch it, you can see that everything looks really nice and smooth. So this is how it really looks. Once you go to system, it gives you more information, something like you can see that the device type is TV, manufacturer is vSeeBOX, model number on this is V2 Pro, and then going down you have the 4 GB of RAM right over here, but it doesn't say if it's DDR4, DDR3, which is understandable. This app cannot pick that up. And on top of that, the total that a memory that they provided and how much is available is right underneath of it. Now if you look underneath of it, this has 32 GB of internal storage, and the ones that has been used and the one that is available is right over here. So now remember that I know it's 32 gig, but there's going to be some that is taken care of by the OS, some for the recovery, and then some that apps that we installed and going to play with, and some apps that they have installed. The rest of them is right over here, how much is available. Going down, the Bluetooth version on this is 4 Plus, and then when you go back and go to CPU, this is where you're going to see exactly what chip they're using. So they are using Allwinner H313/616. So that means two chips together to make this box run really nice and smoothly. And it is a quad-core processor running on 1512 megahertz. And then going down, the CPU cores are right here, says 4. The ones that are running and the ones that are sleeping, it looks like this is not changing that much. Everything is very nicely set up to be low as possible. Now if we go down on display, now remember that this can provide 4K for you, but right now the screen resolution or the native resolution is 1080p. Going down, the DPI on this is 213, which is really good. Again, if you want to check a few more things over here, is talking about GPU, which is Mali G31, which is a single core processor running on 60 Hertz in landscape mode, and the OpenGL on this is 3.2, which means as if you want to install a game or two, this will work very smoothly for you for the meantime. Going under network itself, I know that we are connected via landline right now, but you can see that for Wi-Fi, if we go down, 5G network is supported. That means it will work for you, and we will show you once we go to the testing part for Wi-Fi and LAN to see exactly what type of numbers we expect out of this. Now there's no battery on this. If we go to Android, this is running Android 10, and also you can see the API level is 29. Now if you look more down, there's more information that you are really looking for. Now we will get out of that too. Now if I want to go to terminal, you can see there's no information provided. They didn't really brought us that information, so we don't have to go to it. But if you want to go to codecs, this is where you're going to see a lot of things in RAW. So going next is something like MPEG-4 is there, HEVC, which is now very old, also H.263, 64, AVC is there. Now if you were wanted to get something like AV1, it is not part of this chip, but we're just trying to find to see if they have at least entered it, and I do not see it. But if you want to just watch your channels, this will do the job for you perfectly. You do not need anything extra for this. And this was AIDA 64. Now the next thing we want to go to is going to be Geekbench 5. Now we already processed it, so we will go to history. And for single core we received 103, and for multi-core we got 289. Again, with this 4 GB of RAM, 32 gig in total storage, and OS 10, makes sense why we have these numbers. Again, these are really good for this box. The next thing we want to capture will be the YouTube app. Now as soon as you go into it, as a default it will play it as 1080p. Under settings you will be able to select and change your resolution. Now this is only showing as 1080p. I do not understand why, but when I go to the bottom, these are all going to say 4K. So I'm just trying to find one that is going to be true 4K. Now if I have to go to settings and I select, you can see that this is the maximum they can provide as 1080p. So this actual YouTube app is only going to show you 1080p. Nerdy part, you can see that right now I am getting it as 1080p, and there's 0 frame drops out of 940 right now. The normal on this is 1080p and 30 Hz or 30 frames per second, and the color bit and the codecs I'm using is VP9 and OPUS, which is a really good number. Again, I still have 0 frame drop, which means is this will do the job for you properly, but only in 1080p. So it's not going to go higher than 1080p on YouTube. The next thing we want to go to will be playing some videos to show you if it's going to play something like 10-bit or not. So we will go to VLC. So here are some really old videos, but we just kept them so that way we can use it as a stock video. And here's number 1, which is going to be just 1080p video. And as you can see, it plays it perfectly. So yes, voice is there. You're probably going to hear it over my voice. And yes, it works perfectly. So I am not going to say that much, but you can see that it does work. And yes, you can bring the volume all the way down like what I just did. In this way you have a proper sound, and you can see that the video does not really pause in any way when it comes to this video. Now this is our stock video playing something that I really enjoy. Filming this part was, you can see that there is little particles in this, and if the box can decode it properly on those little parts, it really makes sense. So there are birds involved and also some leaf and the water ripples. So that's what we're really looking for if there is going to be any kind of pauses. And this is a 4K, it is not 10-bit, but you can see that it plays it perfectly. And right now it is just getting it from the network to play. So that means is when you are going to stream things, this will do the job accurately for you. Now we have one more, which is going to be a 10-bit video. There you go. So now it started, and if I have to bring the volume up, you can hear it now that the volume is there, but it plays it nice and smooth. And there is a little choppiness right now, but it went back to really nice and smooth. When we're trying to bring up the volume, I thought I saw that part, but no, it works perfectly. So this is another part that I wanted to mention, was that it does 10-bit video perfectly. So it passes that test that we wanted to provide for you guys. Now to test out the actual mic, let's see if it works or not. We're going to just be on a main screen as we are right now. I'm just going to go on the first part of this screen, and then we're going to talk to the mic to see if it really works. So going next is, I'm just going to press it down. And what is the weather like today?
Today in Brampton, it'll be sunny, with a forecasted high of 48 and a low of 32. Right now it's 40 degrees and mostly sunny.
So this is really good, but it looks like it's still reading it as Fahrenheit and not degrees. So it is a little bit off, but it works. So that's a really cool thing. Alright, so the last thing we want to cover is going to be speed test. So when you bring it up, so here are the numbers that I received using this app, which is really good, by the way. So the first thing we done is Wi-Fi, and you can see that for the download we received 296, We are connected as 5G network, and our upload rate is 44.6. So now my maximum speed for upload is 50 megabit, but I have a gigabit internet coming down. And on top of that, when we did it one more time, it went down a little bit for download, which went to 272, and then for my upload it went up a little bit to 46.5. This is really cool that you can process this. So if you click on it, it goes back inside and you can see the arc for the download that start going up. It makes perfect sense. And if you want to go down a little bit, it gives you more information on idling, which looks really good, which is less than 20. That's what we are looking for. Now when we connected as LAN connection, this would provide only up to 391 megabyte, and you can see the arc that is keep going up and down, so it looks like there was a lot of traffic at that time when we were processing this. Now when we did the upload, it looks like it just stayed there. It dipped down a little bit, but it started going back up and it stayed steady all the way through. Now that is really cool. Now when we did it one more time, it went down a little bit for our download, which it went to 388, but you can see the arc just keep going up and up, which looks really good and promising. Now when it comes to upload, you can see that it just goes up and down a little bit. I'm not sure what's happening, but you can see right over here going to very smooth. One thing I have to mention is the idle time when you connect as a LAN was very low, which is really good to have something like this when you're playing with something box that you have on hand, something like this basically. And this was our take on the vSeeBOX version 2, which just came out not that long ago. I thought I should just come out and do a full review and also a YouTube friendly review that is just going to be merged now together, and this is how it looks. So I hope you guys like the video. Links are going to be available if you want to order one. And I have to mention one thing, that this is a review. Please do not compare this box with something like NVIDIA Shield or Fire Stick or anything like that, since a lot of those boxes, it doesn't matter if it is going to be NVIDIA Shield or Fire Stick, is start bringing some little big brothering on top of it. I am sure that if you ask question, if you don't know what I'm talking about, there will be a lot of videos that are out, especially from the east side, I should say, from Europe, that the big YouTubers are making videos on what you should process and how you should process it. If you have those units, will really help you out. But for this video, I am not going to mention any of that. So links are going to be available in the bottom, so that way you can purchase one. And yes, this is made so you can get access to certain different type of aspects all in one box, so you do not have to go out and search for a box and then search for services separately. This is just brought it together, and you do not have to worry about monthly payment or yearly payment. This will really take care of it all together for lifetime till the actual company going to be in business, and that we cannot predict since everything is changing, but it will really help you out. So this way you have a peace of mind that you have certain things running for you when you get home. So this was how it's processed. And except that, I always want to mention that having a VPN is a good thing for your this type of boxes, and also for your computer, for your security, and it will really help you out. So when you're connecting and you want to be anonymous, this will really help you out. Except that, I hope you guys like our video. If you do like it, click the like button, subscribe button on the top, comment on the bottom. Always remember to visit our own website, which is xctex.info. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and other social networking places, and thank you.